In our treaty, it says, treaty right to education. We have the strongest wording of education in treaty across Canada.
If you give what I ask, the time may come when I will ask you to lend me one of your daughters and one of your sons to live with us. And in return, I will lend you one of my daughters and one of my sons for you to teach what is good. And after they have learned, to teach us. If you grant us what I ask, although I do not know you, I will shake hands with you.
We still live the treaty. We still, honor the treaty. We've never broken the treaty.
My name is Damian Joseph. I'm taking broadcast television production at Confederation College, and I come from Ogaachidinaan.
My name is BritneyPaypompee. I go to school at Confederation College in Thunder Bay. My Ojibwe name is Ogaachidinaan, which means boss or chief of all Thunderbirds.
I chose that program because I wanted to, it was just for the documentary part that I was interested in, because I wanted to tell the story of my people. I want to open eyes of what is going on the res. Notwithstanding 37 in Whitefish Bay has always been home to me and Brittany. No matter where we go, how far we get away, we always seem to miss it. So we decided to go back for a while. Here's my home. Lived here practically my whole life. Seen a lot of stuff. Did a lot of stuff. A lot of good, bad memories. I feel like I never want to come back here to this reserve. How I felt when I first got here was pure excitement, I guess I would call it. I haven't been able to sleep very well since I've been in this city. Always did a lot of drinking, so it's kind of good to escape school, the stresses that come with it, the drinking, getting away from that boarding home. Sometimes gets a little tough not knowing anybody. Bay High School, as I saw it, was the only way of getting out of reserve for most of us. Me and Brittany went to Bay. Wasn't like other high schools, to be honest. I felt like we were being excluded from the benefits of city high schools, but it's all we got, and we're comfortable.
Drinking kept me from attending school every day and being involved in the activities I could have been involved in. When I was in grade 8, I got bumped up to grade 9. I was supposed to graduate when I was 16, because people always said I was really smart and whatever, but I chose alcohol first. It was my first priority at the time instead of school. And yeah, I could have graduated when I was 16. Instead, I graduated when I was 19.
I think I'm the only one out of my generation to graduate on time, or 1 year late.
I was using same thing as him, pills and stuff. And I felt like that stuff wasn't making me feel better. It made me more depressed. Like, just from wanting that stuff, it made me feel like I couldn't move, but I know I could move. I dropped that drug for a reason, because I want to get off this reserve. I want to go where he is, and I want to do the same thing. I want to try and help these kids out, these teenagers, make them change for the better.
Being in high school, teachers came and went. We would be through half the semester and our teachers would move on. Then we'd have a new one, teaching the same material we learned in the 2 months of the semester. But for the teachers that stayed for the long run, were the teachers that we looked up to, who taught us about life in more ways than they knew.
What a positive influence on me in high school was Mrs. Montlong, I guess. She's been there through like forever, ever since I was in elementary school, so I have a lot of respect for her, and she's the one who always, like, you know, made me feel like I was, I don't know, good enough to do things.
I remember my first year, one of the girls had asked me in the first couple weeks of school, she said, "Teacher, how long are you going to teach here?" And I was really surprised by that question. I didn't know how to take it. And I looked at her straight in the eye and I said, "I'll teach here until you graduate." The social pressures, lifestyle, what students see and experience is tough. And without the support from parents or from guardians, to education is a must. Kids are given the option to opt out, in a sense, because they just don't have that push from home.
And it's not their peers either. It's how they look at their parents or whatever going on at home. And they think it's okay to start doing drugs, to start harming themselves. And all they really want is just someone to talk to, just someone to help them, attention. They need help with whatever's bothering them.
Our parents, they're still like some of them went to residential school. And their parents went to residential school, and they weren't really taught how to parent. Yeah. And I think that's what went wrong there, why they can't really teach us.
There are so many barriers. Speaking with the students that I've had in the past and today, it's often the fact that they are the caregivers at home. That's one major barrier to leaving.
Having so much less money, it has an effect on teachers. I mean, we get paid a lot less than provincial teachers do, and as a result, we aren't able to retain teachers.
But it's the kids that suffer, for sure. I mean, they just don't have the opportunities other schools have. And then, you know, then it's another thing too, is hiring professionals, good teachers. You know, good teachers won't stay if you don't have the money to pay them. That's all there is to it, right? When I got hired here, they told me they were looking for people that would stay long term. And then I said, well, yeah, you know, I just live down the road and I'll commit to that, right? Because that's what the understanding was back then, was they knew that at that time of hiring me that they wanted long-term teachers. It seemed to work. But as far as the pay goes, yeah, it sucks knowing that I have a lot of other teacher friends out there, and they're making, like, I've been 13 years now, and these guys are making, you know, a lot more than I am, you know. Whether they're happy or not, I don't know, but you know, they definitely are way ahead of me, you know. It's a choice that you have to make.
I've never really been taught my language by my family. They would speak it around me, but I wouldn't really know what they were saying. When Bawaajigun tried, I felt like they lacked the teaching skills to do so. So I don't know what went wrong.
Elders say that the kids are lost because we don't follow our tradition. Like our school used to be filled with brown teachers at one point. Like when I was a kid, there was nothing but like brown teachers. Yeah. Now there's just like new white teachers that don't know anything about our culture, so they just don't teach it or don't bring it out.
We failed as parents, as elders, to keep that identity of our language strong. Without our language, if we lose our language, our fear is our young people and future generations will lose their identity. We maintain and strongly affirm in the Grand Council Treaty 3 and the Anishinaabe Nation that we are a nation because we have language, culture, people, land. And when you have those components, we are a nation.
I know I say a lot of bad stuff about Northwest Angle 37 and Whitefish Bay, but for some reason, I think it's always hard to leave because I have family here. I have friends. I have memories, both good and bad. I always seem to forget that whenever I'm away or when I'm here. I always focus on the bad, which is probably why I always say I'm never coming back. Me and Brittany making it to Confederation College against the odds, against all the doubt, is something truly unbelievable. And while we're here and we're fighting, we hope to spark a fire in our people in hopes they can make a difference in themselves too.
Do I ever think of going back? Yep. It's my home, so right now I want to go back so I can help people in my community or even just like the communities around the Kenora area, help them see that there is a world out there and they can be something and do something with their lives instead of sticking on a reserve, because there's more to that.
I don't think I would live there. I wouldn't live on the res permanently. I'll just maybe go for visits. Maybe. But when I went back there and people were telling their stories, I felt like I needed to help them. 2010, 2009, my niece was born. So I wanted to set a good example, so I just pulled my shit together and I started doing good in classes so I can make a good role model for my niece and my nephews.
My motivation for trying to get a college degree is to motivate other people in my community, like mainly First Nations people, just to let them know that they can do something with their lives, like they don't have to just be stuck on a reserve. And I just want them to become the strong and resilient people that they can be, that they're capable of being, like due to the residential schools and stuff. I know that's why that's like mainly why a lot of First Nations go through the problems that they go through today, is because of that. And I just want to change that cycle. I want Native people to be, I don't know, I want them to get rid of those stereotypes where they, say like, oh, Native's just a drunk or, low lives, like all of that. I want that gone. I want Natives to show people that that's not what we are and that's not what we were before back in the day.